Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. So, score deal of a lifetime at one of our local pawn shops in North Bay. So, the wife and I had to bring the car in to North Bay to our mechanic to get some work done on it. And we were kind of hung up for 6.5 hours. It's like, oh. So, first stop was McDonald's for breakfast. Then we went over to the pawn shop. That the guy, I know the owner very well, known him for years. Anyways, so we went over, checked out his store, walking around and stuff, and I saw this in the display case, and I thought, that's a pretty good price if it works good, and if it's not cloud locked. Anyways, you never know, right? Anyhow, so we're going around the store and we're looking at stuff, and we went, back over to McDonald's and had a drink later on, and, milkshake for me. And then we went into Dollarama for a bit and back to the Hawk and Save, because that's the name of the place, Hawk and Save. Anyways, I thought, I could really use another iPad. Like, I need another hole in the head. Yeah, right. So I got rid of my minis. I got rid of my iPad Air 1, and they're selling like hotcakes, and I figured, well, geez, if they're selling that fast, I might as well sell the other mini. And then I got more people, and it's like, you know what? I've got an Air if you're interested. So I sold the Air, and I'm like, great, this is going good here. So, but now I'm down to one iPad. Now, I've been using my Pro for cutting a lot of my videos, and I do mean a lot. And I can be hung up here for literally 14 hours just to cut a video, like straight through, other than, go for a bathroom break, get something to munch quick, and, cigarette break. Otherwise, I'm in front of this thing trying to do a video for you guys. So it gets hard on the battery, right? And even though it's been 7 months, going on 8 now that I've had my iPad, my health is down to 96%. And I'm like, okay, well, that's still really good. I mean, it's only dropped 4%. But I could use a better iPad for doing videos with to save the battery on this one, which is the iPad Pro we're doing the video on, obviously, again. So I thought, what about something like this, And I talked to the wife about it, and I thought, you know what? It looks identical to my 11, except this is like a 10.9 inch, right? And it does only have one camera on the back, which is, by the way, 4K. And the front camera is 1080p, and it's along the side. Because when I'm doing a video with this thing, my camera is way over here, and it shifts my eyeballs, and it's almost like I'm not paying attention, or I'm crazy-eyed or something, because I have to keep apologizing to you guys, right? And I'm like, it's just what I'm doing now, okay? And because I gave up on the whole DSLR thing, I figured, well, that was a waste of money. But, and by the way, I did sell my MacBook Air M1 yesterday, actually. And that paid some bills that I need to pay, and also helped pay for this. Now, you're wondering about the deal of the lifetime. How's the deal of the lifetime? Well, let me put it to you this way. I've gotten some pretty good scores off him in the last while. Like my Air, of course, is still warranted for another couple months. Battery's still 100% on it. I mean, and I barely used it, and it was a couch surfer. But, and I'm going to kind of miss it for that part. But, hey, if you got to pay bills, you got to pay bills. You got to do the grown-up thing, okay? And so anyways, I managed to get $800 for that thing. And it's like, okay, cool. That's all right, considering they're usually $600 to $700 average. But, so I saw this, and he only wanted, get this, $300, $299 to be precise. This is Canadian dollars. So I looked it up on Apple's website while I was in the store, because this is Wi-Fi and cellular. It's a 10th gen, 64 gig. So I'm on Apple's website, and it currently sells for, and keep in mind this still has 6 months left of Apple warranty on it. The 64 gig with Wi-Fi and cellular, nothing extra, is $799 new. This thing does not even have a scratch or mark on it anywhere. So I ordered in a case and a glass screen protector for it today. This is going to help greatly with my videos because I put my iPad in landscape mode. I keep setting stuff up. And with the camera being in the center, now I can look at you guys into the camera and I won't look all crazy-eyed. And besides, it's 1080p 12 megapixel in the front, which is what I'm doing right now anyways. And if I want to do 4K, I've got the option to use my kick butt iPad, which we're using now, or I can use this one. And this one, of course, you know, like I said, in landscape mode, this thing is going to be absolutely perfect. I don't know how well we're going to be able to do this, but when I'm looking at it, I'm pretty much dead on with my eyeballs. I'm like, that is sweet. And we can still do the same extended thing where it looks like the room is bigger than what it is, which is also freaking perfect. I'm like, sweet. This is definitely going to do everything I need to do. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, you should just grab a 256 model. This thing even has fingerprint ID, which I haven't set up yet. Thing is, look, it's at a pawn shop. You get what you get. I mean, they did have an iPad Pro 11 there, same as mine. It's the M2 one. And he wanted like $650, which is a pretty good deal. They're like $1,200 new, somewhere around there, right? Canadian bucks. So for the 128 gig, which is what I have. But I figured, you know what, with 64 gig, all I'm going to be doing with this thing literally is shooting videos. And I might do the odd surfing on it. I might use this for my new couch surfer, you know, just because I can, you know. But it's kind of like, well, it'll work. I have no issues. And it's pretty zippy too. I'm actually going to try my OnSong program on this thing too. See what it's like. Because this is not even an M1 chip deal. This is just the 10th gen, right? So if you want to know a little bit about the specs, to save you from haunting around Apple's website, let me just go up here for you. And we're going to go 10th gen, tech specs. Now, they only make this in a 256 or a 64 gig, and again, 64 gig. As far as size goes, it's only about maybe a millimeter wider for the frame and maybe about the same taller than the 11. So the difference is actually the borders around the edges. But you do have speakers top and bottom in this thing, which is really nice. As far as microphones go, I'm not quite sure how many mics we do have in this thing. Let's see what the thing says here. And it has a smart connector too, which, by the way, you can only use the Apple first gen pencil, or I think we can also use the new one. I'm gonna have to look into that, but my second gen doesn't work. It's only for my Pro. So where the camera is on the front bezel in the middle, that has a microphone there. And then we got speakers at either end, touch button and touch ID sensor. Looks like we have a microphone in the back as well, so that's two. I guess we're gonna have to record some guitar and vocals with this and see how it does. 2360 by 1640 resolution, true tone display, 500 nits, fingerprint resistant oleophobic coating, supports Apple Pencil USB-C. Oh, and supports the Apple Pencil first gen, so I can use either one. I think I might get the USB-C one. We'll see. Depends on what the sales are like. 6-core CPU, 4-core GPU. It's an A14 Bionic chip, 16-core neural engine. Both cameras are 12 megapixel. We got digital zoom up to 5 times with a 1.8 aperture, 5-element lens, autofocus with focus pixels, panorama up to 63 megapixels, smart HDR3, photo geotagging, auto image stabilization, burst mode, image formats capture, HEIF and JPEG. Video recording port is 4K recording from 24 right up to 60 frames per second. 1080p is 25 to 60. 720 is 30 and 60. Slow-mo video support for 1080p, 120 and 240. Time-lapse with stabilization. Extended dynamic range for video up to 30 frames per second. And the list goes on, okay? The front camera is also 12 megapixel ultra-wide, 122 degree field of view, 2.4 aperture, Smart HD 3, 1080p HD video recording from 25 to 60 frames per second. And I'm sure you guys can do the math and just read the rest of the specs online. Audio calling is FaceTime audio, iPad to any FaceTime enabled device over Wi-Fi or cellular. It's got center stage, dual mics for calls, video recording and audio recording. So there's our mics there. So we're gonna have to test out the mics and see what they're like there. Nano SIM and eSIM as well, the whole nine. So I mean, and it's USB-C charging too, which I've put one of my magnetic connectors on. I think, I mean, for $300, I mean, how can you go wrong? You honestly can't. I've seen these anywhere from $400 to $600 on Marketplace, and I'm like, he was selling it for $300, and it's like, hey, chicky wow wow, that's a good price. And I like the blue too. That's, I think, another thing that got me. I like the blue better. I used to have the iPad, oh, what the hell was it? I think it was like an Air 5th. It's on my channel anyways, and the blue on it wasn't quite as nice. The blue on this is very, very nice blue, you know. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, calendar app. I keep setting this stuff off while I'm here. Get rid of that. But that's what I'm going to use it for. It's going to be my new main video machine for in here, especially if the microphones work out really good. Because I'm still going to be doing guitar lesson videos for you guys, product review videos, the whole nine. But I like to save my battery as much as I can on my good iPad. Just because I don't feel like replacing the battery like in a year and a half from now, right? Maybe in 2.5 years. So if I can spin them out, all the better, right? So that works. And being a 10th gen, it's going to be good for quite a few years yet. They only came out in like 2022, so we still got lots of time left on this. And besides, this thing will last me forever anyhow, because, you know, even once the battery pukes in it, I can get a new battery put into it. And I don't need internet access for it. So, you know, I just airdrop my files from there right onto my Mac, do my editing, away I go type of thing, right? It works perfect for that. So anyway, I'm not going to give you guys a full-on review at this point. I'm going to say that this is definitely the score of a lifetime. I want to do some more testing with it. Obviously, we've got to shoot some videos with it, see how it does for regular stuff as well as for doing some music stuff in here as well, see how that goes. And then we'll do a full review, probably, I don't know, maybe in a week or two, maybe less. We'll see how things go and how active I get on this thing, because I do have some other programs I want to download into it too, and see how those work out for me. But you can't beat $300 Canadian for literally a basically brand new iPad at 100% health and still 6 months of Apple Care warranty. That is outstanding. Anyways, so you can get gems at pawn shops. You just got to check them out. So, and then see what's going on and what works for you. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll be sure to catch you on the next one. See ya.